x squared minus 8x plus 7 equals 0. We are going to solve this by completing the square. First thing I want to do is get rid of this plus 7. I want to move that to the other side. So to do that, I'm going to subtract it. So that gives me x squared minus 8x equals negative 7. And notice how I left the blank between the minus 8x and the equal, because I need to add some value here to make this a perfect square trinomial. So I'm going to go back to my formula for completing the square, which says if I have x squared plus bx, I'm going to add b divided by 2 squared onto the end of it, and that'll make a perfect square trinomial, and then it will factor down to x plus whatever b divided by 2 is squared. So my b value in this case will be negative 8. That's always the number in front of the x. I take the b and I divide it by 2. That gives me negative 8 divided by 2, which is negative 4. And then I'm going to square it. So I take that negative 4, I square it, and I get 16. So I'm going to add 16 onto the left side. But remember, I'm dealing with an equation. If you add something on the left, you have to add it onto the right side. It's only fair. And now I can factor. This perfect square trinomial will factor down to x plus b over 2. So my b over 2 is right here. It's a negative 4. So I'm going to put a minus 4 in for the b over 2. And then I square it. Is equal to negative 7 plus 16, which gives me a positive 9. Once you've completed the square and you've factored it, it's a simple equation to solve. We're going to cancel out this square, and to do that you have to take the square root of each side. So a square root cancels a square, so that gives me x minus 4 equals the square root of 9, which is plus or minus 3. Remember, 3 squared is 9, and negative 3 squared is 9. And then I'm going to take this minus 4 and move it to the other side by adding 4. So that gives me x is equal to 4 plus or minus the square root of 3. Now this plus or minus is really two operations. I can take the 4 plus the 3, and 4 plus 3 is 7. That gives me one x-intercept. Then I can take the 4 and subtract it from 3, or subtract 3 from it. 4 minus 3 is a 1. That gives me my other x-intercept. And again, when you're looking for the x-intercepts, that is the solution. So we have solved this quadratic equation by completing the square.